the hell are you doing?
I'm training for my MMA debut.
What? You don't know the first thing about mixed martial arts.
Fuck you. I was MMA before MMA was cool. GSP wishes he was in my league. Cain Velasquez wets his pants before I even get within 100 yards of him.
Really? Because it seems to me that you're just making a complete ass of yourself.
Well, that's what's going to get people to watch these videos. That's what's going to drive our views up.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that outright mocking and belittling a sport you obviously know nothing about, a sport that millions of people love much more than you and much more than this YouTube channel, is going to get more people to watch these videos?
Exactly.
I hate you. Alright, Genesis 2011 is over. Let's find out how they did. X Division title match, Jay Lethal versus Kazarian. Very good match. Solid action. There was no overbooking, no outside interference, a clean finish, and the right man won. No complaints from me. This is a good start to the show. Kazarian is the new champion, which means that in the last few months alone, Jay Lethal has had 3 X Division title reigns where he lost the belt almost immediately after winning it. Hell, in 2 of those title reigns, he lost it in his first title defense. You wonder why I call Jay Lethal the worst X Division champion of all time? That's why. The fact that this guy is a 6-time champion means nothing. Every single championship reign he's had has been awful. Every single one. No offense to Jay Lethal, but I hope he never gets anywhere near that title ever again. Knockouts title match, Mickie James versus Madison Rayne. I will admit this was better than I expected. Someone made the very wise decision to let Mickie carry most of the action, and when she was on the offense, it was good. There were a couple slow moments when Madison was on the offense. I love the "you can't wrestle" chants at Madison, by the way. They gave it time to play out. It wasn't overly short, so they had a chance to actually tell a story here. It was a pretty decent women's match, due in no small part to Mickie, but just as I was afraid of, it never reached the level of the Mickie-Tara feud. And that's the problem. The build-up to this match was always going to be better than the match itself. Don't agree with Madison Rayne going over. I will always encourage TNA to use ex-WWE talent to put over and give a rub to the homegrown stars. I just don't think Madison Rayne's the person to do it with. Honestly, I just don't get what TNA see in this woman. I don't get it. But she had a good showing here, so as long as her matches with Mickie can be at least this good, I'll put up with her for a while longer. Tag team title match, Beer Money versus the Motor City Machine Guns. When we found out that AJ Styles was injured and couldn't wrestle Doug Williams, this immediately became the match of the night by default. There's really nothing I can say about it that hasn't been said before. These teams always have great matches together, and this was no exception. I don't know if it necessarily reached the level of the Best of 5 series last summer, but they set the bar so damn high with that series, I don't know if they could do better than that. And even if it might not have been the best match these guys have ever had together, it was still damn good. I'm okay with Beer Money winning the belts back. The Guns had a great title reign. The only thing that worries me is that with the way the match ended, TNA might be breaking them up after this, and that would be stupid. But hey, solid thumbs up for this pay-per-view so far. Let's see what happened next. Brother Devon versus Bully Ray. This wasn't anything amazing. As brawls go, I've seen worse. The crowd was into it, they chanted "let them fight" at the end, so I guess it did what it was supposed to do. I just didn't care about it. That's really all I have to say. TV title match, Doug Williams versus Abyss. AJ Styles had to back out with a hip injury or something. And that sucks, because this probably would have been the match of the night otherwise. I didn't like them putting Abyss in this match. Personally, I'm tired of Abyss. Most people who feud with him seem to come out of it worse off than they were when they went in, i.e. Desmond Wolfe, the Pope, though I suppose we should be grateful that they chose Abyss for this spot and not Rob Terry. The match was alright, nothing special, but if AJ was out, then I would have much preferred that they just keep the belt on Doug Williams. I'm not expecting great things from Abyss as the TV champion. Frankly, I think the best thing Abyss could possibly do right now is just go away, leave TV for a few months and then come back with James Mitchell, but I guess that's not in the cards. Rob Van Dam versus Immortals mystery opponent, who turned out to be Matt Hardy. Yay? Matt was in better shape than he was at the end of his WWE run. He's still kind of pudgy around the midsection, though. Match was okay, but aside from Matt's debut, there was really nothing memorable here. I kind of hope Matt can do better than this in the future. Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle. MMA exhibition. Honestly, this crap is the last thing I want to talk about right now. So instead, I'll just say this. TNA, your booking of this MMA exhibition made the return of Kurt Angle the worst part of the pay-per-view. The Kurt Angle match was the worst match of the pay-per-view. Think about that. Matt Morgan versus Ken Anderson for the #1 contendership. This was better than either of the Morgan Hardy matches were. Kind of slow at times. Parts of it were alright. I'm very glad that they didn't have one of these guys turn heel, which would have been way too predictable. I didn't hate the match, but this would have been a really underwhelming way to end Genesis. So, believe it or not, I was actually happy about what happened next. Bischoff comes out and makes Anderson Hardy for the title right then and there. Normally this is something that Bischoff would do, but with the storyline that Immortal is desperate to have all the titles, why would you give this guy any chance to win it, no matter how small, when you could have easily put it off for a month? Now that part didn't make any sense. But I actually really enjoyed the rest of this, and ever since then I've been trying to figure out why, because this match had so many things that I hate about TNA main events. Tons of overbooking, tons of outside interference, a random title change done just for the sake of being shocking, and yet I liked it. Maybe it's because I wasn't sure how it was going to play out. I knew Hardy was pleading guilty on his drug charges, so they had to get the belt off him soon. But with the way this was booked, I figured if they were going to do a title change here, they'd have Anderson get destroyed for a few minutes and then get a surprise roll-up or something. But then Anderson was being competitive, so I thought they were just giving him some hope spots before they jobbed him out and then do the title change on Impact, maybe. And then all these other people start getting involved, Morgan, Foley, Matt Hardy, Bischoff, and the tide kept going back and forth, until I didn't know which way it was going to go. Swerve, 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 swerve. And I guess eventually there were so many swerves that somehow they managed to swerve over to the positive side of the equation. Kind of like two negatives somehow making a positive. That probably doesn't make any sense. Believe me, it doesn't make sense to me either. But I liked it. The crowd was really hot for it. They loved the title change. They got the belt off Hardy, which is good. I'm not a Jeff Hardy fan, that's not a big secret. I like what they've been doing with his character, but his matches just have not delivered. I don't think that guy has any idea how to work as a heel whatsoever. So Anderson's the new world champion. Hopefully they'll get rid of Hardy's ugly-ass custom title belt now. I'm happy about this. So Genesis started off strong, and it ended strong. Now, they had a pretty big dip in the middle there, but they ended the show on a good note, and that's more than they did on the last two pay-per-views. Stay tuned for Impact, where TNA will try to make us all kill ourselves by bringing back Karen Angle. See ya.